Samsung's next flagship phone might completely change the way you think about smartphone privacy. The Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is coming, and the leaks around this device are absolutely insane. We're talking about features that sound like they're straight out of a science fiction movie. From a completely redesigned camera system to a next-generation privacy display we've never seen on a consumer smartphone before, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is shaping up to be something special. And this time, Samsung doesn't just look like it's playing catch-up. They're pushing features that could be years ahead of the competition, just like they did back in 2018 with the Galaxy S9. In this video, we're diving deep into all the latest Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra leaks, rumored specs, and new features, including some that honestly sound too good to be true. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's break down what might be Samsung's most ambitious phone yet. Let's start with the launch details for the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Samsung is expected to officially announce the Galaxy S26 series at its Galaxy Unpacked 2026 event on February 25th. That's right around the corner, which explains why the leaks are ramping up so quickly. Alongside the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, we're also expecting the regular Galaxy S26, the Galaxy S26 plus new Galaxy Buds 4 and Galaxy Buds 4 Pro. What's really interesting is that dedicated product pages for these devices have already appeared on major Indian e-commerce platforms. That strongly suggests Samsung is preparing a full global rollout, not just a limited regional launch. Now let's talk about the processor situation, because this is where things get very interesting for the S26 Ultra. Qualcomm actually reposted Samsung's Galaxy Unpacked announcement with the caption, "Something big is coming." That's basically Qualcomm's way of confirming that at least one Galaxy S26 series phone will be powered by a Snapdragon chip. Based on Samsung's usual strategy, the Ultra model typically gets the flagship Snapdragon processor, while the standard Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus often use Samsung's own Exynos chips in some regions. So it's highly likely that the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra will be powered by Qualcomm's new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor. This chip is rumored to be built on a cutting-edge 3nm process, which should translate into better performance and significantly improved power efficiency. For context, last year's Galaxy S25 Ultra used a custom Snapdragon 8 Elite 4 for Galaxy chip, and that was already incredibly fast. The Gen 5 version should be a solid step up in both raw power and AI performance. Now let's dive into the leaked spec sheet for the Galaxy S26 Ultra. The phone is expected to feature a massive 6.9-inch display with a resolution of 3120 x 1400 pixels. That means everything from videos to games to text should look razor sharp. Samsung is reportedly sticking with its dynamic AMOLED 2X technology, delivering vibrant colors, deep blacks, and excellent HDR performance. The display will support up to a 120Hz refresh rate, so scrolling, animations, and gaming should feel incredibly smooth. For durability, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is rumored to use Corning's new Gorilla Armor 2, which should make the front glass more resistant to drops and scratches compared to earlier models. Powering all of this is a 5000 mAh battery. Combined with that efficient 3nm chipset, the S26 Ultra should easily handle a full day of heavy use. On top of that, Samsung is expected to include 60W wired fast charging, so topping up from low battery to near 100% shouldn't take very long. Now let's talk about cameras, because this is where Samsung has made some of the most interesting changes on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. The Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is rumored to feature a quad rear camera setup, but with a completely new design compared to previous Ultra models. Instead of the separate floating camera rings we've seen on recent Samsung flagships, the S26 Ultra will reportedly use a single unified pill-shaped camera island. All 4 lenses are housed inside this one module, giving the phone a cleaner, more cohesive look. The main camera is said to be a 200-megapixel sensor, designed to capture an incredible level of detail, even when you crop or zoom into your shots. There's also a 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera for landscapes, architecture, and group photos. For zoom, Samsung is expected to include a 50-megapixel periscope telephoto camera along with a 10-megapixel standard telephoto lens. This dual telephoto setup should provide high-quality zoom at multiple ranges, giving you much more flexibility for portraits, travel photography, and long-distance shots. The overall camera design looks similar to what Samsung used on the Galaxy Z Fold 7, which suggests the company is trying to unify the design language across its premium lineup. We've also just seen fresh 360-degree renders of both the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra and Galaxy S26 Plus, shared by YTECHB. These renders show both phones from every angle in a sleek black color. The Galaxy S26 Ultra stands out with its refined camera island and slightly more rounded corners. Those softer corners should make it more comfortable to hold, which definitely matters on a phone with such a big screen. It still keeps that classic Ultra aesthetic, flat sides, ultra-slim bezels, and a centered punch-hole selfie camera. And yes, the built-in S Pen slot is still there on the S26 Ultra, which is great news for Note and stylus fans. The Galaxy S26 Plus, on the other hand, looks more familiar. It keeps a vertical pill-style camera layout but with a smaller camera island compared to the Ultra. The overall design is very close to current Samsung flagships, just with a few subtle refinements to polish the look. These new renders line up almost perfectly with earlier leaks from reliable sources like Evan Blass and Android Headlines, which makes it very likely that what we're seeing now is close to the final design. Samsung appears to be focusing on refining and polishing the Galaxy S26 series, rather than completely reinventing the design this time. But here, where things start to get really innovative, and this might be one of Samsung's most impressive moves yet. Back in 2018, Samsung introduced variable aperture on the Galaxy S9. That feature allowed the camera lens to physically adjust how much light entered the sensor, improving photo quality in different lighting conditions. In low light, the lens could open wider to let in more light, resulting in brighter and clearer photos. Sadly, Samsung dropped variable aperture after the S9, and we haven't seen it on their phones since. Now, reports suggest that Apple is planning to bring variable aperture to the iPhone 18 Pro models. In response, Samsung has reportedly contacted its suppliers to secure variable aperture units for future Galaxy phones. While this feature probably won't arrive in time for the Galaxy S26 Ultra, it's very likely we'll see it return with the Galaxy S27 series. In the meantime, Samsung is rumored to be giving the Galaxy S26 Ultra a wider aperture on its main camera this year, which should still improve low-light photography and overall image quality in challenging lighting. Now let's get into the feature that might completely redefine smartphone privacy: the Galaxy S26 Ultra's rumored privacy display. According to leaks, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra will feature a hardware-level privacy screen built directly into the display panel, not just a software trick and not just an add-on screen protector. You've probably seen those privacy screen protectors that make your display look dark or invisible when viewed from the side, so people around you can't see what's on your phone. The Galaxy S26 Ultra's privacy display is said to work on a similar principle, but in a much smarter and more advanced way. The key difference is control. On the S26 Ultra, you'll reportedly be able to toggle this privacy mode on and off whenever you want. When privacy mode is activated, the viewing angles narrow so that only someone looking directly at the screen can see what's on it. Anyone off to the side will just see a darkened or obscured display. Turn it off, and the screen goes back to behaving like a normal smartphone display with wide viewing angles. Think about how useful that could be if you handle sensitive information on your phone. You could check your bank account in a crowded cafe, reply to confidential work emails on a flight, or review private documents on your commute, all without worrying about shoulder surfers or prying eyes.